How to never run out of ad creative ideas for your brand. In this video, we'll talk about how you can come up with an unlimited ad creative ideas for your ad account. Now, there are many ways to get those creative ideas, but I will talk about one particular that I believe, from my perspective, that is giving the highest amount of conversions and ROI, return on investment. So take a piece of paper because I will walk you through the exact steps and I will showcase you live how I do that for my e-commerce clients. So let's get started. So everything starts with the customer search. So the first thing that I do, I head to Amazon and basically I go to a similar product that my client is selling, or in your case, if you're an e-commerce owner, you go ahead and search for a product that you are selling, something similar, and you look at the reviews. Let's say that for this particular example, we will take a look at, let's say, pearl jewelry, right? So let's go and type pearl jewelry. And now it's pretty straightforward. What I want is to go ahead and take a look at products with the most amount of reviews. But before that, let's go ahead and make some kind of filters. Let's say that we are selling products that cost between $50 to $200. In that case, I'm going ahead and I will select, let's say, 50 to 100, just to make sure that the products here are much more similar to what we're selling. So right here we have a pretty good product here, and then we have here with over 1,000 reviews. It's a pretty good one. Let's go ahead and let's take a look at the reviews. And by the way, you want to go ahead and look at the reviews with 3-star and 2 stars. The ones with 4 stars, there you'll see most likely that the product is amazing, which you cannot learn much things about that. And when it comes to the 1 star, in that case, you will see most of the time there are trolls and hates. So again, that is not helpful either. Now let's go ahead and let's take a look at the reviews from 3-star. And by the way, you're thinking it now like what it has to do with creating and coming up with creative ideas. You'll see in just one moment, so bear with me. So right now we just basically have to read a few reviews and see what kind of concerns people have. So let's take a look here. Chain and on pearl are really very difficult to attach. Okay, the pearl and the setting are really beautiful. The very small catch. It's so small, it's almost impossible to attach. My wife and I struggled. You see right here, when you see something like this, that let's say they are using these painful words like struggle, painful, well, right there you have a creative idea. Basically, right now we notice that they have a problem with attaching the chain. So what we could do is take this idea and write that down. So let's take this idea and write that down. Maybe we'll go also further and notice some other problems, but for now let's take just this idea. So you'll also get this spreadsheet by clicking on file, make a copy as usual, and basically you can put here some of the concerns that we are reading here on the Amazon, and also the desires, aka their end goal. Either you are seeing that they say something like, the product is good, but I wish I could see this, or I could have that. Right there you take that idea and you write that down here. In this case, it's a pain point, which is difficult, right, to put the chain. So what I'm doing right now is I want to have a whole list of concerns and objections and also desires. Like let's say that we've got around 10 pain points and 10 desires. Then what I'm going to do is I will take, let's say, the first one, okay, difficult to put the chain. I'll go to the next sheet, and here I will kind of put first of all the name. So I'm gonna take exactly the same name from here. And now this is the moment when we have to brainstorm. So we have to ask ourselves a question: how can we showcase visually this kind of pain point, and how can we address that in our creative? So difficult to put the chain. Okay, how can we solve that? So we'll have a scene in our creative where that model is putting that chain very easily. In that case, we address the pain point in our creative right away. So Models needed, yes. The campaign level is going to be prospecting. Will we create? Yeah, of course. And status, either it's active or in progress. But then because we are organizing everything here in just one place, then afterwards, once your campaign was active, that ad creative has been active for quite some time, you could go back and say how well that creative worked. So in this case, I just put an example. Let's say that our break even is 1.5, and in that case, everything below 1.5 that is going to be as perceived as bad. Everything between 1.5 and 2.5 is going to be good, and everything above 2.5 is going to be great. So you take a look at the return on ad spend from that particular video. I'm talking about this one, and then you'll assess the results. Let's say it was good. Now, afterwards, let's say that you've got like 10 of these creatives that you've run based on these concerns and based on these desires. Then afterwards, what you will do is everything that you are going to create next, you'll take a look at this spreadsheet and you will see, okay, what kind of ads worked well, what kind of patterns we could see that people are converting better. Maybe people are converting better when we are addressing some pain points. Okay, let's go ahead and let's create more iterations. Notice what I said, iterations of those creatives. And that's how you can scale your ad account, because you are creating more ads based on data, not based on our emotions and, oh, I like more this type of angle, or I like this type of color to use for our text overlay. Now we are working strictly based on data, strictly on how the marketplace responds to that. Now, to give you a better idea, let's take a look at some more reviews so we could find something different. So, served its purpose as a little gift. It was okay, not as shiny as I thought it would be. Okay, this is a pain point that people have, like it's not that shiny. Now, when I see something like this, that to me means that people have some kind of expectations when they see the product photography, and when they get the product in reality, that means that it doesn't match. So when I see something like this, is let's say they have some kind of concerns. So from this particular point, I could add to the spreadsheet something like website, right, versus reality concerns. Now, this is pretty self-explanatory. With this type of concern, we could simply go ahead and let's say we'll name website versus reality. And now we could have a short video where we, let's say, showcase the product on the website in the first seconds, and then we make a transition and we kind of showcase afterwards the product in the reality. In that case, we could handle these objections from this particular concern. Again, you will add all those information here as the description, models needed, campaign level, and then again, what you will do after a couple of weeks, you'll see how that performs. You'll add the return on ad spend, you'll add the return on ad spend here and how that performed for your brand. And again, like after getting all this information, you simply act based on data. You go ahead and you look which creative worked well and which kind of creative we could make more iterations. So at the end of the day, this all boils down to how you assess the results and how well you are organized with putting all this data in just one place and then creating more ads based on that. So like I said, you want to have at minimum around 10 concerns and 10 desires before you go ahead and you create your first campaign. If you're already running some ads, just go ahead, look at more reviews, find out more about your customers, and then you could come up with more and more and more creatives. Now, once you are getting more and more customers to your store, one thing that I highly recommend is, of course, you could still use the reviews from Amazon, but on top of that, I recommend using post-purchase surveys. Basically, you integrate a survey with your order confirmation email, because that one has the highest open rate. People are opening that email because they're concerning what is going on with my order, right? And they will see that email that you're asking them for a survey, and in that survey you're going to ask them some questions about why they purchased your product, what made them to purchase, what kind of concerns, what else they would want to see on your website. You take those concerns, you take those kind of benefits that they said, also you add them, all of them here, and then again what you're going to do, you're going to create more creatives around those desires and around those things that they wish to see on the website. This is more advanced stuff, but this is how you do it correctly, and this is how you could scale your ad account and get those high return on spends with a long period of time. And the beauty of post-purchase surveys is that you can find out exactly where they are coming from. Is it because of ads, or is it because of your organic post? And you could also ask some questions about what you would want to improve, what they would want actually to improve on your website. So besides that, you could find out new ideas for your ads, you could also find what exactly you could improve on your website, which that is poor profit, because then you could increase your conversion rate. And as we know, when you are increasing your conversion rate, the revenue is increasing by itself with no cost. That was how you never run out of ad creative ideas. So from now on, I believe that you have much more clarity about this topic. So that means you could launch more visuals to your ad account, and ultimately that means you could convert more customers. And I guess that's why you are here, right? Anyways, thanks for being here. This channel is growing slowly but surely, and I'm really happy with that. And I really appreciate your feedback and all your good comments. And I will make sure that over time, the quality is definitely going to be improved. Until then, I will talk to you in my next video.